Good evening. I am not going to turn my head, and I'll try to stay close to the microphone. If anyone can't hear, just yell out. Thank you. So 2 weeks ago, I was away for the weekend visiting friends. I just noticed I turned my head. And they live in a beautiful place up on the northeast corner of Lake George. And it's called Hewlett Landing. And I have never been there before. I spent much of my time on the west side of Lake George. And going there was a lot longer ride than I thought it was going to be. It took 2 hours to get there from Albany, and only 1 hour to get to the lake. So it was a pretty far ride around the lake to get there. Of course, I can't see the lake, so I had no pleasure whatsoever in that extra hour going around the lake. And you had to go to Whitehall, New York, to turn up 22 to get to the lake. Anybody been to Whitehall? Yeah. Don't bother. It's pretty much a closed city. There's a store open now, though. And I'll tell you how sad this city is. There used to be a McDonald's. It actually closed. Did you ever hear such a thing? I never did. Well, got to the house, we're having a great time, and I realized I have friends, Larry and Kathy, that are friends of mine for 30 years, and they live not too far from where I am. So I text them and learned I didn't have any cell service. Ouch. I couldn't make a phone call. I couldn't look at my email. And some of you are saying to yourself, that sounds pretty good. Not for me. When I'm closed off, I get pretty nervous. So I couldn't figure out how I was going to de-stress. Now I have 4 nights here with no communication. And by the way, I'm visiting friends that I just met after 43 years of not speaking to them because we grew apart. So I'm back with them again. And what am I going to say? I can't even hide away and use my phone. Well, then I learned I could get Wi-Fi. They had Wi-Fi. Wow, it is civilized. This is great. And I reach out through Wi-Fi to my friends, and they're like, where are you? Where are you? And I told them, and they said, we want to come take you out to brunch. Can you go to brunch tomorrow? And I was grateful because I needed it. It was a gorgeous place, and I had a wonderful time, but I wanted to give them a break from me. And my friends came down, and they just got a Tesla 3, which is the newest model of the Tesla. And I've been in several, and they're amazing cars. Anybody ever drive in a Tesla? That's no? Yes. Nobody? Yes. One person. Okay. Well, we get in the Tesla, and they're taking me to brunch at the Fairhaven Inn in Fairhaven, Vermont. It's a 100-year-old beautiful place, and we sat out on the porch. There was nobody out there. It was a gorgeous day, a Sunday, and I don't want to eat there if there's nobody there. This does not feel good to me. It's got a great reputation, but no one's there on a Sunday. But it's Labor Day weekend. I don't know what to make of it, but I'm nervous to eat the food. The menu was beautiful, but we ordered, and the food was excellent. I was surprised. And I asked the waitress, why is nobody here? And she said, it's Labor Day weekend. People go away. I said, don't people go away to here? Anyway, we leave the Fairhaven Inn. We drive back on Route 4 into New York. And we get on Route 22 going north to go on the northeast corner of where we're staying, my friends and I. And Larry pulls the Tesla over. I'm in the passenger seat. Kathy's his wife, she's in the back seat. And he says, Chinese fire drill. So I know what that means. So I get out of the car. He gets in my seat. I get in the driver's seat. Yes, unreasonable. And he says, "You're the 135th person I'm letting drive this car." I'm like, "You want me to drive the Tesla?" And he says, "Why not?" Okay. I've driven a lot of cars in my life, but I wasn't ever driving a car that cost this much money. And he says, "All right, it's just like a regular car, except it's a lot faster. And because it's electric, there's no combustion engine. When you step on the gas, there's no gas. It's electric. So it means it's going to snap you into your seat." So he says, "Pull out. You've got no traffic. We're good." So I pull out. I'm on 22. He says, "Go ahead, push it." I push the pedal. 2 seconds, I'm at 60. And I'm steering this car on a 2-lane highway. And Larry says, "Take your hand and put the lever down to the right of the wheel." And I do it, and the car beeps, and it says, "You are in autopilot." Hey, that's pretty good. I like that. I let go of the wheel, and the car's driving by itself. Like, this is the easiest thing I've ever done. He says, "You don't have a car in sight in front of you or behind you, so have fun." So I'm driving. All of a sudden, I floor it. The car goes to 97 miles an hour. And when I hit 85, which was only a second earlier than 97, the bells and whistles are going off. Alarms are going off. I'm
six minutes.
Thank you. I didn't see your hand, sorry. I'm freaking out, and I slow it way down. And Larry says, "I forgot to tell you, when you hit 85 miles an hour, the autopilot shuts off all by itself." Thank you.